Hi everyone, welcome to All Inspired. My name is Amanda if you're new here, and on my channel I like to do a lot of homemaking content, and hopefully along the way I will inspire you. I actually went for a really quick walk to get some inspiration on my fall decorating, and I'm going to jump right into this with some really quick and easy DIYs that I did. I picked up this vase from Ross. I believe it was like $12 or $13, and I really love the shape of it, but I wasn't too fond of the texture. It almost had like a crackled paint effect to it, and so I went ahead and grabbed the dry decks and I just went over the whole entire thing. I kind of smoothed it out and kind of applied it with this little metal scraper, but honestly you don't need it. You will see in just a little bit I go through and I use my hands, and that gives it so much more texture. And I wasn't sure if I was going to have to sand this down afterwards or if I would like it, but you will see later on when it dries that just putting it on like this and kind of dabbing it onto the surface really gives it. Are you guys all ready for fall? Have you started any of your decorating? Have you done any DIYs? I actually had quite a few items from previous years that I wanted to use up, and these flowers were one of them. When I went for a walk, I saw oranges and reds and all of the colors, and I know that a lot of interior designers will say stick with a certain color palette, but I actually just wanted to sprinkle in a little bit of everything throughout my whole house. I wanted a little bit of orange, and I wanted those deep moody colors. I wanted a little bit of both. And I have these stems, and I actually thought that they were pretty decent stems, and they look very realistic. I picked them up from the dollar store years before, and I've actually seen on quite a few videos how people take these really bright colors and they just tone them down by adding a little bit of brown paint. I mixed about equal parts paint to equal parts water and mixed it up, and then just dabbed that on my flowers. And then I went back and kind of dabbed it with a wet paper towel to create this very muted orange and yellow tone that I think looks fabulous. I also wanted to go ahead and add in a little bit of texture to these pumpkins. They were already painted white and a creamy color, and I really thought that it looked pretty. However, I love the pumpkins that look like pottery, and so I kind of wanted to do that effect, and so I just watered down some of that same thing that I was using on the vase, and I just kind of applied these with a applicator. It was a makeup applicator. I didn't have like a sponge or anything, so I just went ahead and used what I had and just kind of brushed it on, almost like painted it on, to make these pumpkins appear as if they are made out of like a ceramic material, or not a ceramic, but like a stone material. Add some really beautiful florals to my my brown grapevine wreath, and you will see how I use that a little bit later. I did not make those. They do look very realistic, and I think they look wonderful. However, I picked those up from Amazon, so I can actually leave those linked below for you if you're interested. I'm going to go ahead and get my candle going. I turned on a beautiful little screensaver on my TV. You can look those up on YouTube for free and have them going. I like to have a little bit of relaxing music in the background. Every once in a while, I might turn on a TV show too. There's a lot of great fall movies that you can also turn on, or just watch YouTube videos as you decorate. But I like to set the mood with a nice little candle, make sure we have all of the fall scents in the air, and the home is completely cozy and ready for the fall time. I'm gonna go ahead and start in my living room. I often like to start in here with these bookcases. They seem to give me the most trouble. I do eventually want to redo these to where it's a little bit easier to style it, but for now we're gonna work with what we have. And I still feel like this turns out really well. Those are those muted orange and yellow DIY project that I did. I think those turned out so fantastic. It's not in your face bold colors. They're more muted. It looks more natural like it is outside. And then I'm just going to place this little wooden riser, this vessel that I added texture to, and my large pine cone. My daughter and I found those when we were in Florida vacationing about 10 years ago, and I love to use them in my fall and winter decor. And then I actually grabbed a couple books just to add in some height and put in this really beautiful vase that I picked up from Walmart with some florals that I got off of Amazon. And then I'm going to head over to the other side, and I am going to do a very, very similar look, but I'm just going to switch it up just a little bit. You will see that the pots aren't the same size and the florals that I use aren't exactly the same. This is a different floral that I did pick up from Dollar Tree, and it was a almost like a golden yellow color. And I did the exact same thing with these. I just dabbed it with the brown paint wash and then wiped it back with a paper towel to give it that really natural effect. And I think those turned out so stunning. I'm going to mimic over there, but just a little bit different things. I'm using the same wooden riser. It's just a different size. I'm using a different vessel, but it is textured and in the same paint. And then I'm using that same acorn that my daughter and I found when we were on vacation. I'm going to go ahead and put some books for a riser and then add in another pot that's just a little bit smaller, but exactly the same one. No, those are the same size pots, but I just switched up the florals and added in a little bit more over to this side. The other side looks like just a ton of dried florals, and on the right side, I added in just a little bit more. I wanted to go ahead and grab that wreath and add it right here. I think that wreath looks so stunning. It adds so much moodiness in this space. I think it contrasts really well with the black frame. I wanted to add in some neutral colors as well, so I put in this really beautiful tall vase with some dried florals, as well as this almost yellow amber color that I think looks stunning for the fall, and a little tiny pumpkin just to finish it off. So I have a pair of 3. I love to decorate like that, and I think that it just ends up looking really beautiful. We have this little tray over here, and I often like to use this for a little area where we gather like remotes and stuff like that, but I also want to use it as a styling opportunity. You see this when you walk in our front door and you walk into our living room. This is the main area that you see, and so I just wanted to add in a little bit decor down below. And instead of just adding it all to the fireplace, I decided just to go ahead and put this little tray right here, and then I just stacked in some florals and then put my textured pumpkins on here. And then this is just a little area where we can sit the remotes because we are constantly losing them, but it's also a little decorating moment that I think turns out really sweet. I'm going to move right along to my kitchen. That I don't decorate a ton in here, but I am going to do this shelf right here. This is another area that I feel like is a real focal point when you walk into our house and you turn the corner. This is the first thing that you see. And so I just want to add in some florals. I love these really beautiful cups that I picked up from Dollar General last year. And then I had these pumpkin spice muffins. I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin spice coffee. However, I love pumpkin spice desserts. I think they taste wonderful and they look so adorable in this little area. So I went ahead and put them up here as well. And you will see I'm just going to play around with this until I feel like it looks nice, and then I'm going to add a little bit more to it because I feel like it just looks a little plain and we could just add a little something to it. I have this really cute marble pumpkin. You can see that it did lose part of its stem. However, I feel like pumpkins are like that and they lose part of their stem, and I'm going to go ahead and decorate with it anyways because I still feel like it adds a little something to this space. What do you guys think? I almost forgot to put this clip in here, but look at Coconut. I had all my stuff laid out on the floor getting ready to decorate, and she ended up getting right in the middle of my wreath and took a little nice nap. And so I just left her there to nap for a while. But I'm going to move along and go ahead and in the dining room, and I'm not going to do a ton in here. We don't have a lot of opportunity to decorate, but I'm going to hang this beautiful frame that I picked up from Goodwill a few years ago. If you've seen my videos in the past, I've put this on the mantle for several years, but now I want to use it in here, a different change, and I wanted to add a little pop of orange in here, not anything too extremely bold, but there's a lot of orange in that photograph, so I just went ahead and added some tiny velvet pumpkins into a dough bowl with some greenery, and I feel like it plays well with that photograph. What do you guys think? I'm going to move right along into our front entryway, and I really wanted this to just be a really nice area where you feel like there's fall as soon as you walk into the home. And so I'm going to keep in some of the things that we already had here that I just feel like are staple pieces and I'm just not ready to get rid of. But I'm going to add in this really beautiful vase that I picked up from Walmart and some florals that I do believe I got from Walmart but if not, I will. If I picked them up from Amazon, I'll link them for you guys. But I just feel like that these little baby breath almost remind me of a mom, and I think it actually looks super cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep those out during the fall. And I'm going to add in these beautiful, deep, Moody stems that I picked up from Amazon. Check these out. I think they look so stunning. The only thing I would change is I actually think I'm going to go in later and paint the stems, just the stems that connect the leaves, because they almost look a little orange. And I think if you put a little bit of brown paint on those, it would look stunning. You can't tell from this far away, but up close you can see they look a little orange. However, these are the most beautiful stems that I've seen at an affordable price. I picked them up on Amazon, and I will leave them linked below for you guys. I picked these up from Schnucks, and they are maple scented and they smell so good. Some of them are from last year and they don't smell quite as strong, but I went ahead and picked up another this year because they smell so phenomenal. I wanted to make sure I put those right in the front entryway. Not only will it smell amazing, it also gives that little added texture to this space. It adds in that brown color that I'm really loving for the fall time. So I just went ahead and put that in there. I also have a ton of pumpkins, and I was really just looking for some type of way to disguise that outlet that's right there. So I just went ahead and grabbed some pumpkins and put it in the basket, and I feel like that also adds some texture, some warmth in the colors, but it disguises that outlet that I really don't want anyone to see. Now I'm going to move into our front room. I don't do a ton in here. This is mainly for the kiddos. They have their charging station in here. They like to sit in here and read. They'll sit in here and get ready for after they've gotten ready for the day and they're waiting to go to school, they'll hang out in this room. This is just a lot of the times the children are in here. And so I just added a few pieces just to make it feel like fall. I told you guys earlier in the video I went for a little walk, and when I was walking, I saw this on the sidewalk. They had leaves that were just imprinted. I'm not sure if this was done intentionally or it was just during the fall time when that was redone, but I thought it looked so pretty and I wanted to show you guys. Now I'm just going to give you guys a little overview of how everything turned out. Please let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any suggestions, if you think that the orange and the Moody's too much, let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You look at me like I'm different.